Kingswear Castle is a coal-fired river paddle steamer built by Philip and Sons in 1924 for the River Dart Steamboat Company Limited at a cost of £10,333 and was almost identical to her two older sisters, the Compton Castle, built in 1914, and the Totnes Castle, built in 1923. She was the last paddle steamer to be built for service on the River Dart, and was a replacement for the previous Kingswear Castle, which was built in 1904. She is fitted with the engines from her predecessor, and initially operated summer excursions on the River Dart. From the 1920s until the 1960s, when the trio of paddle steamers plied their trade on the River Dart, Kingswear Castle was licensed to carry up to 400 passengers, compared to a maximum of 235 today. At the outbreak of the Second World War, Kingswear Castle was initially used by the Admiralty as a depot ship at Dittisham, but later, in 1941, she was chartered to the United States Navy and used as a harbour tender for carrying stores and personnel at Dartmouth. She resumed her peacetime role at the cessation of hostilities in 1945. Kingswear Castle was withdrawn from service in 1965. Changing holiday patterns and a decline in river traffic brought about her final season, bringing her first 41 years of service on the Dart to an end. But she was purchased by the volunteer-based Paddle Steamer Preservation Society in 1967. She was moored at Island Harbour Marina from August 1967 until June 1971. With her condition deteriorating, she was moved to the River Medway, where over a period of 15 years, she was restored to operating condition, and entered service on the River Medway and the River Thames in 1985. She was operated by the paddle steamer Kingswear Castle Trust, based at Chatham Historic Dockyard in Kent, in association with the PSPS. Work to restore her to operational condition in the period from 1973 to 1983 was essentially undertaken by volunteers, who brought together great enthusiasm and a wide range of diverse skills. Most work was confined to weekends, so progress was relatively slow, but by the early 1980s, Kingswear Castle was in a sufficient state to run trials, and had a limited season carrying just 12 passengers in 1984. Work continued apace during the following winter, and Kingswear Castle obtained full passenger certificates in time for a return to service in 1985, on the rivers Medway and Thames, from her new base at the then newly opened historic dockyard Chatham. For the next 27 years, Kingswear Castle plied the waters of the Medway and the Thames, cruising regularly as far as London, Southend-on-Sea, and Whitstable. In December 2012, she returned to the River Dart to run excursions from 2013 onwards, under charter to the Dartmouth Steam Railway and Riverboat Company. In 2014, the Institution of Mechanical Engineers presented Kingswear Castle with an Engineering Heritage Award, as a mark of her unique place in British maritime history. Kingswear Castle is owned by the Paddle Steamer Kingswear Castle Trust, on behalf of the Paddle Steamer Preservation Society, and is on long-term charter to the Dartmouth Steam Railway and River Boat Company, who operate her on the River Dart each summer.